so excited to have you all here, and I'm saying, oh my God, they're going to ask me so many questions that I can't answer, but that's okay. As a former teacher and educator, I will persevere. Because in the back of the room, there is a sheet that you can write your name, your phone number, and your email, and if you have questions, I'll get back to you. Okay? That covers that. That's the disclaimer. I am not here to sell you any particular trip whatsoever. I'm here to give you information about something that might interest you. I try to pick topics that, first of all, interest me, because if I got to do the research on it, I want to have fun doing it. And then I look at what I've researched, and I try to decide what population might enjoy this. Now, so far, everything I've researched, everybody seems to like. Because when I was going over this with my grandson, who's 13, he said, oh, maybe I'd like to go. And I said, well, you like to go on everything I do. Okay, when are you going to get a job so you can start paying some of this? But hopefully, when I come back in the fall, I'll be able to tell you about one of the adventures I'm going to do with him. Is we're going to the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, wow.
So he's a tortoise and turtle fanatic. So I said,
Perfect.
okay, we're going. And I'll be interested to see, because he's asking all questions about Wi-Fi and can he take his games and everything. I said, we're going in nature. Okay, that's what we're doing. So, but there is Wi-Fi, so he'll live one way or the other.
Right.
So, but as I said, my name is Lynn Thompson Gibson, and this is Travel Talks with Lynn. I do a travel show every Thursday, actually, on Facebook, for any of those of you who are on Facebook. I know Facebook is not everybody's thing, but it gives me a chance to connect with many people and tell them about what's hot and what's not in travel. So this is an extended version of that just for you. All right, let's see. And now this is not my computer. I hope all the things that I put in here work. Okay, this is me. Okay, different hairstyle, but it changes from season to season. You can do everything that I do on your own. You can. That's what the internet is there for. You can Google all these sites and you can cross-reference this and cross-reference that. But why do all that? If you have a travel advisor, you can call them, hopefully me, I say them because it could be a he or she, but I'm a she, and I can save you time. I have traveled. I may not have traveled extensively as some, but I know I've traveled more extensively than many. So I got ins and outs, and if nothing else, I have a network of people who I can call and I can say, my client wants to go X, Y, or Z. I've never been there, never heard of it. What do you got? So that you'll feel more comfortable. Money is always a big deal. If you see a advertised commercial for going to, let's say, California for $3.99 for a week. Now, if you go to $3.99 to California for a week, more than likely you're going to be staying in a room about this size. It might have creepy crawly buggies in it. You'll definitely not be flying on a major airline. You may have to get there this way yourself. So money is really a relative object. All right, do you want legroom? Do you want a more guaranteed flights? Because nowadays all the airlines are bumping and canceling. But I can guarantee you that some of the more economical airlines cancel far more frequently than some of the major airlines. And on some of those bargain airlines, the seats, you have to be like your size, not my size. I love that size. I'm nothing against your size.
Okay, the other people always end up hanging over. And
Yes, that's me hanging over on you. I'm sorry, okay, but it happens. But that's because those seats are considerably smaller. And if you are into technology, many of them don't have any plugs. So if you haven't already juiced up, or if you want to watch a movie or something, it's not all it's cracked up to be. So, and then there are specials. When you go on a cruise, you can look it all up, but there's things that I can get now, not if you wait till 2 days before the cruise, but if you're doing something months in advance, there are different things that I could do for you. And I'll give you peace of mind. When everything gets all messed up, I'm the one that's got to fix it, not you. And wouldn't you rather have somebody else worrying about it than yourself worrying about it? Well, at least that's how I feel. You know, if I can't fix it, I'm gonna let you know up front. It can't be fixed. Or if I tweak something, you know, I thought this was gonna work, it's not really gonna work. You're gonna get to know about it ahead of time. We're gonna find another solution. To every problem, there is some solution. It may not be the one you really want, but there are always solutions. Because we're gonna strive forward and move on. Now, it says I specialize in women's travel. And the reason I say women's travel is because I think women rule the world. Sorry, males in here. But I do think we rule the world. We have partners who are men. We have children who are men and boys. We are the center of everything. So that's why I specialize in things for women. Not that I can't do anything for a customer. I had a male customer. I did his proposal. He wanted to marry a young lady. I sent him on a trip for it. And she's very glad that I did because he was not going to do it quite right. Okay, she was a 30-something, heading towards 40, and he was going to do it on the very economical frame. And I said, you know, she's a little old for that. You gotta bump it up just a little bit. She's waited a long time. First marriage, no kids. She's going to want a little something. And they were very happy, and I'm going to be doing their wedding soon. So next year. She did say yes. All right, let's see. All right, let's see if I can get this part to come on. Hopefully. Yes. Takes a while. Hopefully it's going to start making noise.
To really see North America, its land and people, you have to leave the roads. Introducing American Queen Voyages. Water has always been our way forward. Over the last decade, our red paddle wheel has been a symbol of progress, churning new possibilities and adventures ahead. We invite you to a deeper discovery of our vast continent in a way only the waters can provide. From the great American rivers to lake, ocean, and expedition voyages, where their engines run as silent as the Alaskan predators, where flinty New England oystermen warm up over salty fishtails, the chef shares her tantalizing secrets, and crawdaddy boils fill every corner of the table, where you meet real-world heroes and warriors. And you don't just see thoroughbreds racing. You go behind the scenes to the legendary stables. Intimate, authentic, and so personal an encounter it can only be yours. We use the waters to set a new course. We let the waters ever rising, flowing, living, design the experience. Perpetually spinning, the big wheel keeps turning. Today, we reintroduce our travel experiences as American Queen Voyages. With all its style and grandeur, where the nights serenade you and the days feed your curiosity, where home is a feeling that always nourishes you. Today, we invite you to explore a North America unknown, where tradition lives and breathes, and discovery runs deep, where the dance of life inspires you, and the wildlife is sure to mesmerize. You'll discover territories incognita, old world comforts of the North and South, and places you imagined you knew. You may even discover new places within. Now is our time. Now is our moment to cast off the bow lines and venture forward. American Queen Voyages. River, lakes and ocean, expedition, discovery runs deep.
This is the moment.
I don't know about you, but I thought that was fabulous. Okay, it just said to me, I want to be on that ship. I want to be on that boat. It just reeked of luxury, it reeked of experience, and it reeked of people who are going to take care of you. I don't see that a lot on the bigger ships. Most of these ships and paddle boats have between 50 and 175 guests, maximum. So you're going to get the one-on-one service or the 1-to-3 or whatever the ratio is, but you're not going to have to be looking for somebody to do something for you. Most of the people who are on this particular type of river cruise are more on the seasoned side. There's not gonna be a whole lot of little kids running around. Translation. And I love my grandchild. I love lots of people's grandchildren. But sometimes I just want to have a nice cocktail, listen to some music, read a book, play cards, and not have to deal with all those inflatable thingies. Entertainment is a really big thing on American Queen cruises. As they have jazz, they have country blues, they have rock legends. I mean, they do all sorts of themes. They have wine, they have cuisine tours. Whatever you want, you can find it with this company. I mean, they are here to make this time of your life spectacular. Things that, I mean, this is kind of like a bucket list. So if you're really into Lewis and Clark, they have a Lewis and Clark trail you can go. If you're really interested, as I said, I'm going to jump in the gun, but they do have themed trips for Thanksgiving, New Year's, and Christmas, where you can visit all the homes that are decorated, and you can see fireworks over the river. Something a little different. Okay, yes, we're all going to be dancing at 12 o'clock, but let's see something else. Okay, let's do a little bit different. Okay, back and forth and back. Now it's when I really could use that clicker. And food seemed to be really high on that promotional video thing here. Everything, they try to get as many things as possible locally sourced. They have world-renowned chefs. I picked these particular pictures because I like seafood, and it's getting to be summertime, and they have a ship that leaves out of Baltimore that goes along the Chesapeake, and they have one that goes up to New England and they have a lobster and clam festival that you're going to go to. And so all that's going to be very fresh, not like the kind you get from Acme. And I don't even know where those came from. But if you've ever been to Maine, the lobster tastes a little bit differently there. It's fresher. And you're going to be getting this right out of the pot and right set before you. So cuisine is very high. All right, now I was going to show you two different staterooms. Now they have this thing called the Presidential Suite, which is fabulous. It is decorated with antique furniture, and it's got tapestries on the wall, and it's also like $10,000. Okay. Now, you all may have $10,000, and I probably have $10,000 in the bank, not on me. But I don't necessarily want to spend $10,000 on just a room. Now, if you got it like that, I can sign you up for that. I will graciously sign you up for that. You and your entire family who wants to be in that suite. But I thought I would show you what a typical suite looks like instead. Let's see if it works. No, it's not working. Come on. Oh, it's down here. Look at that. All right, where's the words? Give me some words. There's the words.
Hey there, everybody. This is John, and you are watching In the Loop Travel. We are sailing with American Queen Steamboat Company on the new ship, American Countess. And you know what that means? That means we're gonna give you a room tour right now. We are staying in cabin number 222. Let's have a look around. I would call this room spacious but simple. It's got everything you'd expect, nothing too outlandish, but a very spacious for a riverboat suite. You get the bed, the 2 nightstands, the lamps with the reading lights on each side, clock over here, a nice flat screen TV right in front of the bed, some extra storage shelving, a nice big living space. No table here, but you do have the couch, a desk with the big mirror. Each passenger gets American Queen Steamboat Company branded water bottles. They do have the filling stations on board, so that is environmentally friendly. And all the other basics, plenty of outlets, a coffee maker, and down here you have a little mini fridge. Let's go have a look at the closet storage, and then we'll do the bathroom. Here you have the hangers and a 2-drawer dresser, a safe, and you get bathrobes, nice comfy bathrobes to use during your cruise. There is underbed storage as well for your luggage. Plenty of space down there we found. Into the bathroom, this particular room has a very nice walk-in shower. It comes with amenities and soaps and everything. And this has a single basin with some shelving for storage. And I do notice down here they have a little makeup mirror. Now let's check out our favorite spot on the ship for the rooms, and that's going to be the balcony. We're sailing on the Mississippi River from New Orleans on our way up to Memphis, and we're underway, passing under a bridge right here. It's a nice little balcony. You've got a couple of seats here and a small table. I think I'm going to enjoy some of the scenery. A little bit of muddy waters in the river here, but we are sailing again, and it is amazing. Hope you enjoyed the room tour, and thanks for watching.
We thank you. I don't know how many of you have ever been on a traditional cruise? Okay. You notice that room looked that bathroom was a little bit bigger than the bathrooms on a regular cruise ship. I just came back from Oasis of the Seas, and I was looking at that bathroom, and I'm saying, that's a lot bigger than the bathroom I just was in. I was not in a suite, so that's why. Yes?
Do you know how many square feet in this?
I think they said, well, I don't know exactly, but I can look up for you. I was going to look back in my notes and see if I had the square footage. I know that the presidential suite was 532. So this is somewhere underneath that. I'm saying probably about 230, but I'm not sure. But I will find that out for you. Okay? But the bathroom was bigger. I can tell you the balcony seemed to be comparable size, maybe a little bit on the smaller end in terms of what your balcony, if you're going to compare it to a traditional cruise line. You could, if you had friends, you could have an adjoining balcony and you could open this. But I like the sustainability thing because you're carrying cups around all the time on Royal or Celebrity or NCL. I did like the water bottle feature. It seemed to be a comparable room for me. I felt I would be comfortable. I do know that this is not one that is stationary. You can separate the beds, so if it was two travelers who did not want to sleep together, they could have separate bed space, which is always nice if you are traveling with your cousin that you can't really stay.
Small fridge in there.
Yes, there is a small fridge underneath. It was next, underneath that little counter thing. And I did like the fact that it didn't have that table, because since I've just returned back, I tripped over that table so many times, and it really served no purpose. It wasn't high enough for me to work at, and the only thing my partner did was put his feet up on it. So, sorry guys, once again. But I said, you can lay, see how she's laying? I said, you could try that, and then we could, but anyhow. I thought it was a nice room. I think I would be comfortable. I have not yet to travel on American Queen, but I do know they have single supplements. So you don't have to have a partner to go with you. You can go alone and you can meet people. Their dining rooms are set up such that everybody can eat at the same time if they want to, or you can eat a little later. You don't have assigned seating, and that's really nice, especially if you're traveling alone or you're traveling with a large group. You don't want everybody with you, but so you can get your stuff over on one side, and then people who want to be more separate can be on another side. They have free beer and wine with meals. They have a cocktail hour. I love a good cocktail hour. So it's something to think about. Let me go. All right. Let's see. Okay, no, we don't want to see you again. One of the places that they mentioned was Alaska. And I always try to mention Alaska anytime I do anything, because Alaska is absolutely beautiful. I had no idea how lush it can be. And I was speaking to the young lady up here about going to Iceland, and it's in the summer soon, because Iceland and Alaska are two areas that have those long summer, the long darkness and the long sunshine. Because you have so much of that sunshine, all of the things burst, meaning all your flowers, the seaweed. I saw so many ponds and lakes that were so green because the algae kept multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. It was absolutely beautiful. Some of the footage you saw, I chose the bear because I just want to see that. I have seen a whale, but they go along the intercoastal ways for all of their trips. You're on a big boat. You have floor-to-ceiling windows. If you get a balcony, you can see everything. There's nothing blocking your view. I have all these pictures on other things where there's a line in between. If I'm on a bus or something and I can't get it, I want the full shot. Not that I'm that great a photographer, but I want the full shot. Okay. I mentioned some theme things, and this, we just had the Kentucky Derby. They have this whole Kentucky Derby thing, and I said, "Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I could bring my hat, and I could sip my mint juleps and be part of the fastest 2 minutes in sports." Okay, you get your seats and everything. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can plan that tour. Okay. But they have, as I mentioned, they do have the cooking ones. They have Lewis and Clark, as I said. They have wine tasting. Whatever it is that you want, we can see if they will get a historian to come on there and talk to you about it. They have these things called river laureates. And when I heard that, I said, what? I'm busy. River laureate. That's somebody who rides the rivers, but is also a historian who can tell you what happened at all the battles, or who can tell you why we're stopping at this particular location and what's unique about it. And most of your excursions are included on all of the American Cruise tour lines, unless you want to do something premium. And they'll have a whole list of, it's kind of like with everything else. It's a tiered thing. But if you only want to do the minimum, all of that's included. They're not going to nickel and dime you throughout the whole thing. Oh, it's okay, puppy. We enjoyed it. She can stay. He can
made a
stay.
little cry. I don't want to disturb anybody.
Well, let's hope she learns to like me. But those are things you need to think about. When you go on some of the other cruise lines, they charge you for gratuities. They charge you if you want to go on any excursion. They charge you sometimes for your additional beverages. All of these things are included, so that the price may be a little higher. It's not necessarily going to be higher when you add everything up. Now these, the cruises go from 5 days up to 14 days, all along the East Coast and some along the West Coast. There's no way I could tell you specifically, but I can safely say for $2,000 per person, you could go on a lovely 7-day adventure where everything's included. But there are less expensive ones, and there are certainly more expensive ones. It depends on your room category. And yes, I'm still ready to do that presidential. Any of you who want it, I'm here for you. Okay? Take your whole family. They'll enjoy. Everybody can enjoy it. I definitely gotta get one of them clippers. All right, let's see what this one says. And I also don't have it's not showing me the feed ahead of time, so I'm trying to remember what the next slide was. It's okay. It's okay. And thank you all for being so patient. Now this is another company's, I appropriated it. That's the other company. We're not dealing with them, okay? Okay, top 10 reasons. They're up there. Basically, I want to just go over that everything is unique. Thing over there. In terms of the theme cruises, the Riverlorians, I know you will never forget that word. While you're in port, you can get bicycles. Hospitality, hop on, hop off, shore excursion. They have lovely shows in the evening. If you're going out all day, you want to sit down, enjoy dinner, and then go to a show. They do have room service, so you don't have to get up and go anywhere first thing in the morning if you want. And they have room service all day. And there's that largest owner suite. And through the end of this year, if you are going, if you need to fly in, they will fly you in the night before, and that is free, and give you a free hotel accommodation. It's not going to be at the Ritz, but it will give you free hotel accommodations, because anytime you do a cruise, you should always get in the night before, because you never know what could happen. You don't want to miss your cruise because of some airline, your luggage, or whatever. So whatever cruise line you go on, always go the night before. And the number one reason I think especially this group may be interested, and myself also, all of the ships on American Queen, I keep saying cruise, I can't get, American Queen cruises are made in the USA, and they're made in Baltimore. So this is not something that is been built somewhere else, we built it here. Okay, let's see. All right, the other half of this presentation is on the railways. Who likes rails better?
I like it equally as well.
Okay. I should have said, or you can go like this. All right. I have always been fascinated by the rails ever since I was a little girl, and my grandfather took me to Stroudsburg, and I saw all that smoke coming out of the rail. I don't know why, but I just thought that was phenomenal, and I still think it's phenomenal today. And my grandson has experienced that, and we went to Stroudsburg, and we rode on the rail with the Santa thing, and he thinks that Santa actually rode at the time, rode on a rail, because that's what he saw. But the other way that Americans got around, other than stagecoaches and riverboats, was through the rails. You can't really see America from a car, because they're so interested in going on 95 and the super highways. Now, yeah, let me take that back. If you go down Route 17, I have gone down Route 17, it took forever, and I did get to see loads of things, St. Augustine and some of the other pretty things. But usually when you're in a car, you want to get there fast. But when you're on a rail, you want to experience something. Both of these companies are talking about the experience. They're talking about taking it easy. They're talking about taking everything in, so that while you're there, you've seen it all, you're doing it, you're not having to rush. We spend a lot of time rushing. I don't know about you, but the people who've been driving around the city of Philadelphia are driving very crazily. And I need something a little bit more calmer in my life. So travel is one of the ways that I achieve that. Let's see here. I don't think, oh, it does have it. Okay, let's see. Okay, who wants to go on a rail? I do. All right, when you think of rail transportation, that's what you think of, the glass dome top. That's part of the Gold Leaf Service. And Gold Leaf means that there's an upper and a lower area for you to be in. But as you can see, you can look at all those views. You can take a picture on this side, excuse me, get over here and take a picture on this side. With the Gold Leaf Service, they also have an observation deck where you can go out and you can take pictures, you know, you get it, set it up so you're in the picture, you like you in the Rockies yourself. But this is an experience. I'm just thinking back to some of the photos I saw. It just lets you show how vast our country continues to be. And how many people don't get to see that. They only get to see just a little bit of 95, 73, 76, you know, all those little things that they don't get to see the wilderness, they don't get to see nature, they don't get to experience things. I want to be able to provide that for you. When you're on all daylight trains, so that means when you're on the train It's all daylight. You're not riding at night. You stop at hotels at night. This is all daytime travel. So you get to see everything. If it's a stop, it's during the daytime. You can get out, take your pictures, whatever it is that you want to do. And you stay in beautiful hotels. I don't know whether if any of you slept in some of those sleeper cars on Amtrak. Little. It's very little. I was impressed though at the time because I was in college and I found out there was a bathroom underneath. I said, oh, this is lovely. But that was when I was in college, and that was some many decades ago. Now I want to be in a hotel where somebody has made the bed and done all those things, and I can go get a meal somewhere. And I cannot mention that you saw in the photos, there's a lot of cocktails. I'm thinking everybody thinks that all travelers are alcoholics, but I don't know. I'm not, but even if I was, that's okay too. But, you know, you gotta take care of ourselves at this stage in our lives. Okay, this is one of the shortest ones. It's 5 days. You can start in Las Vegas or Denver, either way, and you get to experience things along the Rockies. Just to give you an idea, this one is about $1,400 per person.
How many? 7?
Five.
5 days.
5. And as I said, I don't want you to concentrate so much on what the pricing is. You need to contact me and find out what you want to do. There are, they go from 5 to 17 days. There's no need for me to tell you how much a 17-day one is if you only have 7 days. And I couldn't possibly, since number one, I only thought there was going to be 3 people here. I can't possibly come up with the number of different price categories, but I wanted to give you an idea of what it looked like.
And your airfare is separate.
Yes, your airfare is always separate. So, for example, if you were going to do this, we give you a couple of days in Vegas first, so you could gamble away if that's what you wanted to do, or a couple days in Denver afterwards if you wanted to do some panning for gold or doing some of the things that are in Denver. It's been a long time since I've been to Denver. The only thing I remember is the Black Cowboys Museum, where I found out that there were lady cowboys, and I was so happy. And that was a long time ago too. Gosh, that was about 30 years ago. I hadn't thought about that. But and this is the same thing I would recommend if you were traveling abroad. If you have already gone to the other side of something, put in an extra 2 or 3 days to go somewhere else. So if you've flown all the way to Vegas or flown to Denver, you didn't want to see anything in Denver, you get to Vegas, you don't want to see anything in Vegas, but you're an hour and a half from San Francisco. Let's make that jump to San Francisco so you don't have to take the 6-hour flight to San Francisco. Now, you will have to take the 6-hour flight back, but you're already there. So take advantage of wherever you're at geographically. That's over the Grand Canyon, I believe. That's that skywalk. And if you do not need a passport to go on anything on American Queen, but on Rocky Mountaineer, you do need a passport if you're going into Canadian territories. You don't need it if it is one of the routes that does not go into the Canadian Rockies. And that's even if you don't get off the boat. You still have to have your passport. And you also have to have proof of vaccination for the rail. You do have to have, everybody has to be vaccinated, and it's proof of vaccination for the rail if you're going to the Rockies, not if you're staying within the continent, within the United States. If you don't have your vaccination, you cannot go on American Queen. You have to be vaccinated to go on American Queen. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into the vaccination kind of thing. That's your own personal choice. But I can tell you where you can go and where you can't go with or without a vaccination. Is that a question, ma'am?
Oh, if I understand it correctly, this is the first time the Rocky Mountaineer Railways is going to the Rockies. I did extensively from the Toronto down to cross-Canadian trip, which is fantastic. And I understand, is it correct that they don't have the Maple Leaf Service there because the trains aren't high, or too high, and they can't get them under the bridges at all?
Yes. That question I could answer. Yes, love that. This starts in Vancouver and goes back to it's a round trip. This one is 9 days. This one, if I recall, was about 5, I think. It was a little bit more on the pricier side, but it's also 9 days. You know. Okay.
Deserves an extraordinary way to see it. Our newest route, Rockies to the Red Rocks, brings 30 years of Rocky Mountaineers' world-class service to the stunning desert vistas of the American Southwest. Traveling from the vibrant Denver, Colorado, past some of nature's wonders, vast canyons, chromatic deserts, and panoramic views, to the mesmerizing red rock landscapes that twist through the bright blue sky. It's rail travel at its best. After all, if you're going to see an extraordinary place, you want an extraordinary way to see it.
And for those of you who okay, wanted to know, there's the gold leaf and then there's the SilverLeaf service. The SilverLeaf service, the gold leaf, let me backtrack. The gold leaf, you have your dining downstairs and you have the above, the windows above.
Observation car.
Thank you. I love people who know things. I love it. The observation area upstairs. On the SilverLeaf service, your meals are served at your seat. You don't go down to a dining room. They do not have the observation kind of experience. It is more of a big window, so it is not as lush and experiential, let's just say. But they do have a small observation area that you can go outside. It says 1 or 2 people, so that sounds more like just one. So it's either 2 very small little tiny people or me out there, and you can take your pictures. I know when I rode the rails in Alaska, there was no observation outdoor deck. I remember hanging off the side as the train was moving to get that shot. I did not get the shot, but I did see that eagle. I saw it. I can't prove it because I didn't get the shot, but I did see the eagle.
So does each, couple have their own little observation deck, or that's the observation deck
That's
for
the
the whole floor?
observation for the
Okay.
train.
Right.
No, that would be like triple gold leaf service, I guess. No, it is just one, and not everybody wants to go out and take a picture at the same time. And if the person's been out there for too long, get
Get
this.
a shepherd something from you.
Or you could ask politely for them, can I take my shot now? But both of these services, there is the rail historian, and they call theirs their storyteller. So there is somebody on board who can help identify what is going by, what makes it significant, tell you when your next stop, these are some of the things that you might want to do. Each one of these are about the experience. They want to ensure you have a fantastic time. They want to give you all the tools to make it even better. Can't beat this scenery. You get your meals and beverages on, because they must think that people just want to eat constantly, because I kept seeing lots of meals and beverages. The service and the storytelling, your accommodations and transfers. So there's somebody there to help move that bag. You don't have to schlep it yourself. And if you've ever traveled on some excursions in Europe, you're just pulling that bag and you're tired. There's somebody there to do that for you. This is where your bag will be when you get to the hotel.
So do you tip them, or is that included in your package?
I think you would have to tip the people on the outside. Everything that's within the train is included, okay? I mean, I'm not saying that you have to tip the people outside. I just know I would tip the people outside, just as I mean, I'm not talking about hundreds of dollars, but. Your tours and sightseeing, and once again, that is just a basic sightseeing, not going to take a hot air balloon ride over the Grand Canyon. That's going to cost you some money, but they will arrange it for you. It's not that you can't do that. And packages to suit your preferences. And this you, of course, can do it a single. They do not give a specific single accommodations, but we can arrange that for you, okay? It's probably not at the same 50-50 split if you were sharing a room with someone at your hotel, but it is not as pricey as it could be, because this is all part of their excursion that they would do for you. And if that was something you were interested in, I could look into that for you. You always need travel insurance wherever you go. Whether you're with me, with yourselves, you're with somebody else's group, and they don't tell you travel insurance, you need to go call me. Remember where I'm at, and I'll get you some travel insurance. In today's market and economy, with all the interesting things that are going on overseas and backing up everything, you need a backup plan. If you're going for something for your job, or with a group where everything is included and you know they're still going, you still might need, if you have a major medical concern, you might need additional medical insurance coverage if it's not going to be covered. I don't know what kind of medical insurance you all have, but it's worth finding out, especially if you're going overseas. Okay, not so much in the US, but I don't know, with some of those out of network, in network, and all those regulations, I'd hate if something happened. All of these, and if your bag goes missing and you can't find it, you got to replace some of those clothing items. So your travel insurance covers these things. I invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. It's Lynn115 Travel. I have a women's group. Women who want to travel the world. That's also on Facebook. Join me there. And this is on Thursday, and at 7 p.m. on Lynn 115 Travel, or Lynn Thompson Gibson. I talk about travel, tell you what's hot and what's not. I would love to find out where you all would like to go. I'd like to plan a trip for you all if you're interested in either American Queen or the Rails, either individually as a group. And I'd like to know what other questions you have, or what else you'd like me to talk about the next time I come.
Where is your office located?
My office is located in my home. I am a home-based travel agent. You have my phone number on the card that was on your chair, and if not, there's some cards in the middle there. I will get it, and I'll get you one if they're all gone. But if you all remember, several decades ago, there used to be lots of different travel agencies. Most of them have all gone away, and it's done by home-based travel agents. So I do work I'm considered a satellite agent of Travel Planners International, so that if something were to go wrong, you don't just have me trying to fix it. You have a whole company in Florida trying to fix it, with millions of travel agents all over the United States. And also, if you're booking with me under Travel Planners International, let's say, I'm off in Bali and your trip is coming up, you can't find me, sometimes Wi-Fi doesn't work, and you have a problem, you can contact Travel Planners International. All of your information is right there. They'll be able to help you. So it's a backup system. So you're not just left out there on your own if you can't find me. Yes,
You mentioned insurance
Yes.
and the importance of it.
yes.
I've been on trips overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and people think that you just take insurance in case you don't go. And people will say, well, I'm going anyway. But every trip I've been on, someone has gotten injured. And they don't realize that they have to, and Medicare does not pay outside the United States.
Bingo, you get a gold star if I was giving them out. Yes, I didn't even plant her.
And I've always taken insurance, and like I said, you never know, a woman got hit by a car.
You could sprain your
Germany.
ankle. I mean,
Yeah.
or you could get food poisoning. You know, you're going to some little exotic place, you eat something.
In fact, I was in the Sistine Chapel, and somebody leaned back too far like this, and she fell in the Sistine Chapel.
Oh, my
and
God.
broke her arm.
Oh, that's hard down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been there. Yeah, yeah. Those floors are.
Yes, she broke her arm. So you never know, you know?
And if you need to be, if you are, now that is not a small island, but if you visit islands, for example, and you need to be helivac'd or transported out of there, that's why the insurance goes up to $50,000 to cover you being medevaced to somewhere that can help you. So that is really important. You can get travel insurance from any travel advisor. I deal with Allianz most of the time, and I deal with Travel Direct. But thank you. But if you want information, sign in at the back, and I'll get back to you. And just remember, it's Lynn 115 Travel. Any other questions?
Is that Lynn 115 travel? Is it one word or?
Lynn 115 Travel. If you push that in your computer,
Search bar.
in your search bar, I'll come up.
Any kind of way.
If it says Lynn 115 Travel, now if you put lynn115travel.com, it also comes up, but it's Lynn. I only have one N at the back in my name. The word, the number is 115 and travel,
All hooked together.
all hooked together. And underneath your seat is my business card.
Oh, okay. No, I don't. Thank you.
But where would you like me to research for the next talk, if you'd like me to come back?
I think there's so much right there I want to get into.
Do you have anything going to Australia?
I was planning Australia before the pandemic. Then the pandemic hit, and then they were so strict with all their rules and regulations in Australia. But we could definitely look into that. When would you like to go?
Not this year.
Well, I think this year is kind of a wrap. If you haven't already decided on where you're going, it's going to be tight to get in. Like many of the different things, especially on this, on the American Queen, are almost all booked up for this year. So there, if you want to go on something, it's usually 9 months to a year in advance, especially if you want one of the higher tiered rooms, cabin categories. I mean, we can find you something, but it may not be the specific one that you want. Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering if you had anything to do with the train travel in Europe. I've done extensively in the last 15, 20 years travel on the river cruises in Europe, and I've done to all the rivers. So I'm looking to, after my time traveling on the services for the transcontinental trip through Canada, I would like to go through. However, at my approaching age of 84, I don't want to have to make my arrangements to go from place to place, because with European travel by train, things are not as complete as they would be here. So are you planning for, or have you ever thought about any train trips, particularly through Switzerland?
I have not as of yet, but I planned a trip for for a client who wanted to go extensively through Italy on the train. So there are different tour operators that I would contact, and I would set something up just specifically for you.
Yeah, each of the countries have their own travel by train Spain, Italy, and various others, Germany, basically, but,
But I would contact someone like Avanti Travel or Go Away Travel, somebody who specializes in rail, if that's specifically what you wanted to do. I would, I would have a consultation. Oh, I forgot to mention. Oh, everybody gets a free consultation anytime you want. Just give me a call and I can help you plan what you want, and then I'll tell you what the next steps are.
if anybody wants to go on a nice tour, the Douro River from Lisbon to Salamanca, Spain is really great.
Anything in Spain is really, really great too. I love Spain.
I'm not a Facebook devotee. I only have a little cell phone, and I don't want to have to spend $1,000 on an iPhone and then take a college course to get calls from people I don't want to be interested in. So how would you be contacted normally?
There is
Besides your telephone number?
you can call me or you can send me an email.
Also, YouTube has interesting trips on travel by train also.
And I'd love to work with you.
Yeah, I'm interested in, train, this new one they have through the Rockies, so to speak, but, and I have 3 years now on my RMD that I've been saving up because of the pandemic, so therefore, it's not a problem, financially. And also for people, depending upon your age, your insurance in the company changes at a certain age. Back when I was 70, there was a big increase, but I always make sure I get the body back, So you have to do that.
What do you mean the body back? Maybe I didn't hear it.
If you die on the trip,
Yeah.
get your body back home.
Oh, okay, thank
Well,
you.
present things like that.
Okay,
But it happens, okay?
yeah.
Hopefully not on the trip that I planned for you. Oh, Lord. And I know that this particular population, and that is just folks who are just a little bit more senior than me, don't particularly do Facebook, and that's fine, or don't communicate a lot via email. But if you call me, as opposed to me calling you, I'll be more than happy to try to help you decide where you'd like to go. That's a wrap.
Thank you.
Thank you.